Do we start?
I don't know. Are we starting?
Did you hit record?
Yeah, we're recording.
I knew it.
Sweet.
I knew it.
Nailed it.
I guess we started.
Okay. Hey, Golden Boys are back again for another episode. Which episode? Number
7.
7. Wow.
nailed
Lucky
it.
number.
This is the episode.
This is the episode that most people didn't think we would ever get to because statistically speaking, most podcasts don't make it past 7. Well, so we made it to 7. We'll see if we can hit
if you hit number 8,
Yeah.
actually, I think it was. I think it's if you make it to 7. I think they don't get past 6, but
Cool.
Cool. Then
This is our last episode, everyone. We are officially done.
thanks for tuning in.
Goodbye.
he's being sarcastic. This is not our last episode. Just to be clear. Just to be clear for everybody.
We're actually ramping up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we intend on doing 10
are.
episodes a week.
Wait, I think he meant month.
Yeah.
10 episodes a month? Wow.
2.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
So we are back.
We are.
You had a little vacation. Got to get away for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was sure.
Kind of.
Yeah.
You went somewhere else. You
different-
physically went to a different location.
Different
For a
change
few
of
days.
scenery.
Did you go to Pure, Michigan, right?
Michiana, Michigan, right by Michigan City. It was really nice. Yeah, I got away. Needed it for sure. I was able to tune out. Like that's the hardest thing as a boss and running a business. There's so many things like are always happening, always going on, and I was able to legitimately just tune out and just focused on being there. The only time that I had to take my mind from here back to the new studio was when Jared called me and told me that water was pouring onto our countertop.
Okay, here's the thing. All right. Our landlord came in. He told me he's so sorry. He was like, man, I really apologize. The apartment, there's apartments above. Yeah. And he was like, I'm really sorry. And this won't happen again. We're going to get this all fixed up and stuff. And I told him, I said, listen, hey, man, it really is our fault. And he was like, what? I was like, you see, we keep building screen printing studios underneath apartments. Yeah. And over in this location, the original location here, the ceiling was open for a good year.
Solid year.
Yeah, because the apartment upstairs leaked from the washing machine.
Yep.
So many times.
So many times.
That it didn't even make sense to finish the ceiling and close it up because it's like, well, the water's just going to pour out in like a few days anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Seriously.
So I told our landlord, hey, man, it's really on us, not you.
Yeah. And he was like, what?
But yeah, no, it did. It poured. There was a leak before.
Yeah.
But then this time, like they installed a new washing machine, but whoever installed it didn't hook it up right. So it literally was just spraying water out of the side onto the guy's floor. So it flooded the entire washroom. And then we had like a 6-foot, section that was just dropping water.
It was like a shower.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, it was a little intense.
Yeah. So I told the guys, hey, if something's on fire, I need to start saying if something's underwater.
Yeah.
That's really
give me a call.
That's really what happened.
Which is funny because when it started happening, I said, I don't want to call John, and Jared goes, yeah, we're calling John.
Yeah, we're calling John about this one. Sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to know.
Yeah. But other than that,
Well, none of us had the landlord's number.
So I didn't. I couldn't get a hold of him
to call you. Yeah.
Yeah. But besides that, I mean, we got a nice little Airbnb. Literally, we sat on the couch a lot, and we took our daughter. So
She's your favorite?
That was fun. She was until that week. No, it's gonna sound way worse than what it was. But here's my trip. No joke. We got in the car. We left Monday, and I was like, yeah, let's leave fairly like before lunch type deal. We left like after lunch. It's like 1 o'clock or whatever. Check-in wasn't till 4. And we get in standstill traffic for an hour on 65. And so that wasn't fun. And because the car wasn't moving, Heritage was just losing it. Mm-hmm. So that was fun. And then we got up there She literally Monday, the Monday we got away, started this new thing called just not being content ever and screaming. So I was like, man, I'm so glad we got away to relax, you know. But it was good. Got in a hot tub. That was nice. Tried to relax a little bit.
What were you wearing in that hot tub?
Oh, yeah. Don't you want to know?
I do.
We do want to know.
Viewers want to know also.
Are you wearing them right now?
Dude, if you were, that'd have been amazing.
Dude, I thought about it this morning. So it's funny. I was actually we stopped by Target before we left to grab a few things, and I was like, "Crap, I don't even have any swim trunks." I was like, and I walked over, and they're literally the first things I saw, and I instantly started laughing to myself, and it's just nice leopard print swimming shorts, and I was like, I held up like a medium. I'm a small guy. Held up a medium, and they just looked massive. And I was like, man, I don't want I know they got drawstrings and all that. I just don't want it. So I got the small, and I was wrong on that choice. But
Or were you so right?
So right for future modeling picks.
Little leopard man.
Little leopard.
We're gonna have to maybe have you wear those to the studio one day.
I will model them with
A new Golden Boys shirt with leopard print.
Hey, gave me an idea.
Jonathan's face on a leopard.
There. Now we're talking.
A little leopard with gauges, even though their ears are on top of their head. So that's a little weird, but whatever.
Just holes.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, got away. It was kind of nice. Change of scenery. Glad to be back.
Yeah. Well, we had a lot going on while you were here. Besides the studio, not flooding, but raining. It was raining inside. We had a ton of orders we were working on. I say we. I wasn't printing. You were. Jordan was printing a lot.
I printed out artwork.
Yeah, Corey printed out a lot of artwork.
Multiple times. There
Yeah.
were lots of times where we were lining up a screen and we're like, wait a second, this isn't lining up. Then we found out that John had something selected on his computer when he was printing artwork that slightly resized.
Yeah.
So then Corey would print out at a different size, and then we got it figured out.
Yeah.
We had a lot of those little things like that we're kind of working through with this new setup, mainly because we're not there with we do all the prep in the old studio, and then only printing is happening in the new studio right now.
Yeah.
And so it's a weird, we literally were just walking, just carrying screens down the sidewalk. Yeah. All of us had screens in arms just because that's what we have to do right now.
People are just looking at us like, what the heck are they doing?
Yeah. But so a lot of orders were getting taken care of, trying to catch up on that stuff, which is funny because we always said we're going to get the auto, we're going to have so much more time. And we do. It gets done faster, but we have a lot of orders too. So
also our orders have just jumped in colors.
I was going to say, what's the last time you've done a one color?
I can't wait to run a one color.
Yeah. It's
Heck, even a 3 color would be nice.
I know, right? Yeah, just 1 color, 2 color stuff. It's like, man, shout out Queen's Head for they sent in a massive order. I love that company. Love the designs. He was like, dude, I'm out of everything. Literally sent me 6 different designs, minimum 4 color, but
most of them are
Both of them are 6 color pockets, 6 color full backs, and tag prints on all of them. So I was like, oh, hey, see you later, Jordan. Have fun. And then you guys had some issues, which is fine. It's part of the business.
We worked them out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. One cool thing that we can now officially say is we've got some gold ticket items sent out.
Yes, we did. Apologize for the wait, but at the same time, every person, the 2 people that won, I hit them up. I apologize, and they're like, dudes, we follow along what you guys are doing. Don't apologize. We get it. And then they were just really cool. They're like, hey, your setup's dope. Love everything you guys are doing. So, yeah, we got a heat press going out to someone who desperately needs it, and a flash dryer going out to a shop that's been curing shirts with the heat gun. So
I remember when I first started printing, when I got my first flash dryer, it was game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm stoked for them to use that equipment. Hopefully help them speed up some stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be rad. So we're excited that we got that stuff sent out. We got the shipping and stuff coordinated. All that's been a little tricky, but we're working through that stuff. We're getting more submissions for those things. So if you're listening and you have some equipment you want to give away, hit us up, and we can figure out how to get that on the website so we can give that to somebody that needs it.
Yep.
That's kind of the idea there, is if you have something that you don't use anymore, and you don't want to deal with the hassle of selling it and you want to hook somebody up,
Yep.
let us help you connect with somebody that needs it.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna be giving away more of those things as we go along. That's gonna keep happening.
Yeah.
And then I think that's
Basically all the updates.
Is that all of our announcements?
All the updates, announcements.
Do you want to talk about the print that we did yesterday and today for a minute?
How far do you want me to go back? Or
You could just
how much do you want
touch
me
on it for a minute, if you want to just.
This podcast is sponsored by F&. Why give a chunk of your hard-earned dollars to ink monopolies? Your income deserves to stay in your pockets. Not only does F&. cost less than the standard Plastisol ink, but it also works just as effectively, if not better. The low-cure ink is short-bodied and creamy, making it extremely easy to work with. The 15 ready-to-use colors can be pulled straight from the bucket or used to make custom colors, since it also doubles as a mixing system. That's not all. With F&'s 8 new specialty inks and additives, a printer's only limit is their creativity. Put your foot down, take a stand against Plastisol ink prices with F&. Head to fn.ink to learn more. Hey, I've been using F&. for a little over 3 years. Love the stuff. No complaints. I've also had a bunch of my buddy shops switch, and that's all they use, which that just says something about the ink. We just recently received some specialty inks, some of that lovely metallic gold that we're going to try out. Hey, if you want to try some new inks, save a few bucks, give F&. a try. Back to the podcast. Okay.
Well, I feel like that's probably a reasonable segue anyway.
It is.
Yeah.
It has to do with what
what
this
we
is
want to talk
all about.
There we go.
Jonathan,
Yeah.
what do we want to talk about today?
Well, first off, I'm going to give a shout out to Corey for, doing this design, because he looked at me and he was just like, yeah, because that's like a tight deadline. That's what he says. Like,
How did you do it?
tight deadline.
Yeah.
No. So go back a little further. We got in this new schedule. So life's crazy. The shop's crazy. We have so much going on. We're figuring this out. 2 locations is a different animal. We literally we're just doing what we can. But the 2 points that we all kind of talked about as a group is like, we need to jump back on more YouTube videos on a consistent basis. So we're going to try to nail 2 a month. And also 2 podcasts a month. So every 2 weeks off and on, we'll try to maybe rotate them or try to fit them to where we're always kicking stuff out. But with that is our problem is that allotting time to do that with everything else that's going on. And we just had to tell ourselves and kind of talk it out of we have to block out 2 days a month and say, this is what we're going to do all day. If something new jumps on our plate that day, it gets pushed aside and we got to just focus in on what we're doing. And we were going to do that on Friday. We switched it to Wednesday. And came in Wednesday, started prepping, started filming, and the power went out. And
Like immediately.
immediately, not oh shoot, I blew a fuse. But yeah, watch the video. We'll tell you full detail on that.
Yeah, we got a YouTube video coming out that's gonna show all of this fun stuff.
Tie it all in. But
that was a day.
Yeah.
it was a day, and it was we're trying to be pivot and like nail it and get it all. And it's just like, holy smokes, we picked a day.
Yeah, because it was like we were like encouraged. It was like, all right, we feel motivated. Let's get this done. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And then like literally 10 minutes into the day, like the entire building lost power.
Yeah. And
we were in the middle of exposing a screen, actually.
Exactly. Like, and it's funny because I was like, can I just like expose all the screens like the night before and mix all the ink and then we'll just, fake it because, hey, everyone, we have to fake it for video stuff sometimes.
On some of those things where it's like,
how
already burned the screens, but like, hey, go ahead and go to the exposure unit.
Yeah. And like,
try to fill in some of those shots.
Yeah. Just get some cool B-roll stuff. But I was like, Jared's like, just burn 2 and then we'll burn these. And it's just like, boom, getting our day, getting the video going. And, we got a hiccup, got that kicked on about hour later,
something like that.
Did that. But it threw a wrench in our plan because, we got to back up a little further. We were going to film the podcast first.
Yeah.
But somebody.
But I forgot the hard drive at my house.
But it's a good thing because the podcast would have got interrupted too.
Yeah.
So
I remember I drove home, got the hard drive, was on my way back, and Jared's like, "Hey, don't be in a hurry because we don't have power."
Yeah. Well, I didn't want you to get a speeding ticket.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And at this point, it was kind of, it was like 2 something, right? It was like 2:30.
And you guys went over there, and I stayed over here to finish burning screens for other jobs.
Yeah.
And then. Yeah, sorry.
No. Yeah, and so I got over there. I started setting stuff up, mixing ink. Like Jared and I's filming. That was a new dynamic. Just trying to figure out how to film a video, auto, setup, angles.
Well, there's so many. First of all, it's a new space.
Yeah.
So everything's different. We've been filming over in this one for 2 years, so it's just completely different setup. Everything's different about it, right? And then filming, on the auto and setting stuff up on the auto, it's different. I'm not able to get all the same shots that I was before. There's a massive arm going across the top.
Right.
So we're just trying to figure those things out.
And of course we, chose a discharge job, which, as soon as you put the ink in the screens, it's go time. You got to get that moving or your screens start clogging up and, you want to do a test print, but at the same time, you kind of just got to run and go. And, but anyways, we got our white, print and we wanted to figure out whether we wanted to do like a print flash print to get the discharge super bright white. We were just testing some of that stuff out and it was like at this time it was like 3 o'clock. Yeah, probably somewhere. I'm like, okay, we're not running these shirts yet. There wasn't that many, but I was like, okay. So just started like bouncing off each other. I was like, okay, hey, the shirt's underneath the flash. All right, it's going to swing over. All right, push test print. I forgot that the shirt was underneath the flash, wasn't underneath my screen. We just re-glued all the platens.
Fresh.
And that screen went down and it did not come back up.
It's funny, the table or the platen went down and the screen was like,
yeah. The middle was stuck
stretched.
real hard.
Yeah.
And so again, we've printed a platen before.
Yeah.
However, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that glued because it popped off.
Yeah.
It pulled some of the emulsion on that first few times we've done it or whatever. But that was not moving at all. And so I was like sticking my finger underneath, trying to pry the screen because I knew I was going to probably pop it. And I was like, all right, and then I was like, this is going to suck, but I'm just going to, and you're in the moment. I was frustrated because I knew that screen was toast. We're trying to film a video. We're on a time limit now.
Deadline,
and I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. And I just hit left index again because I knew it was going to go down. And literally the screen and the glue was so glued that the platen actually didn't go down and it literally kicked over and hit the side of the bracket of the arm, popped the screen, ink flew everywhere, and I no joke, I bent my arm and I bent the aluminum plat. I didn't find that out later until after I was picking up all the ink off the floor and the screen. And then I told George, and then I said a few choice words through my hat. And then, then I told Jordan to go burn a new screen, 2 new screens. And then, because we already did the white print. And so I'm like, great, we got discharge. That screen's going to get clogged up and like just all these things. And then they left. I started like calming myself down, laughing a little bit. And then I was like, hey, we still have the backs to print. It's almost 4 o'clock. I think if we get over there, we could probably knock out the backs. And just, even though I like only 2 days out of the month that are film days, right? You know, like I was like, we'll knock the backs out. We'll come in tomorrow, the next day, finish the video and go about our business. So
it was a little bit of a ride that day was.
Yeah.
But what was the design you printed on it?
Yeah. So I think that's the thing that really fueled me. Cause like I've been really pumped on this. I told Corey, I've had this design and this just thing that's been in my head of, you know, screen printers are a different breed. And that's what we got. We printed nice, real big on the back of the shirt.
Like maxed out the press. Like you can't print any bigger.
Yeah. We figured out our limit for sure. And then on the front, I just wanted Corey to do a cool little traditional wolf. He nailed it on talk about the design. Cause you're telling me like nothing about this design I think is going to work. Colors and
no, like he kind of gave me a rough idea of the design. And then, while he was away, I was like, oh, I'll take some time but Jonathan was like, hey dude, we only paid work, guys. Only if it's bringing in money, that's all you're working on while I'm away. And we're like, yeah, dude, for sure. And he's like, by the way, if you have some free time and you want to make this design for me, that'd be great.
It's funny because he said that too about printing those podcast shirts.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, if you have some free time, go ahead and finish up those podcast shirts.
Well, so I know you're busting my chops, so let me bust Jared's chops because we got to film stuff. We got to get stuff done, but we got to have the designs to be able to do the video. And so it's all this little domino effect.
You just gotta read between the lines when Jonathan speaks.
Make myself clear.
So clear.
So I actually ended up like it was literally like the last, like it was like Friday or whatever, and I had a little bit of free time where I'd like gotten some projects done, and I was like, well, I guess I could try drawing this wolf design. And so I drew it out, just kind of threw something together that I thought looked kind of cool, and I just did like the line work, and like sent that over to Jonathan to get approval, and he for the most part liked it. And then Monday we were like, yeah, dude, Fridays, cool, we're gonna be doing stuff. And then Tuesday he was like, just kidding, maybe it was by the end of Monday.
It was Tuesday.
Okay,
it was Monday night.
It was Monday night, and then you finished the design Tuesday. I printed stuff out, and then we printed on Wednesday. So.
So it was basically he was just like, "Hey, dude, so finish this design."
Yeah,
I'm like, cool. This is a tight deadline. I got freaking the day to finish this design and put it all together. But put it all together. It's going on like a black shirt, so I had to like think intentionally about like. Just the type of design I needed to like have it inverted properly so it looked right. I was like drawing on white background. Yeah. And it like used like gold and red and white, and I was like, dude, I don't even know if these colors are gonna look cool or if it's gonna make sense. But it all looked really cool and it all made sense, and it's a pretty rad design.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
No, I was nervous about that red because it was like an orangish, but not red, and when you're mixing it, like different lighting, I'm just like, I don't know.
And so many people struggle with red discharge, like getting it to actually look red and
not pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got it done. Also, just so you guys know, like we're operating on I don't know how many different schedules. Like right now, window season is like popping for me. I go out and do some window work on like my residential stuff. And so I got literally I got probably 2 solid weeks of just, I could go out every day and clean windows and make some good money. So I'm trying to schedule that in on top of the schedule, on top of the podcast, on top of the filming. And so, yeah, we just got to.
Sounds like you need a vacation.
I don't know.
That was good.
Got him.
Yeah, man. So,
But
yeah.
yeah, so the design.
The heart behind the design, really what it was all inspired by is like what you said, screen printers are a different breed.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? Because I'm not a screen printer, so I don't know.
Yeah. And I'll elaborate a little more with just screen printing shops and running shops.
Oh, yeah.
And
only shops. If you're in a garage,
if
you are nothing.
Or if you're a studio. No, just the atmosphere, everything that goes into actually getting an order done. It takes a different breed of person. I think back of when I was in the garage and I was doing design. I was ordering shirts. I was doing the quotes. I was printing the shirts. I was like a one-man band doing it all until you came on board. And it's one of those jobs to where you get into it and you're like, yeah, like profit margins are pretty good. You like, shirt costs this. I'm going to print it for this. Man, if I just remember back in the day, it's like, holy crap, I made $500 today. I worked like 3 hours. It's like, that's what I'd make at like a full, 40-hour week, at a different job. And I was like, I was just hooked. But then you start getting into it and you're like, ooh, it's not just, there's just so much to it, and it's literally a make it or break it business. And that's what I mean by like screen printers are a different breed. Not that everybody, people that, are like lawyers or, it's not that I'm saying only screen printers know how to nice hard work. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying, screen printers, we're a different breed in the aspect of, man, like,
I mean, it's more like it just takes a certain type of person to want to do screen printing all the time. Which even like you're a designer, but now think about how designing for screen printing has changed the way you design.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like you're thinking about, okay, I have to separate this into screens, and how do I need to go about designing that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that was my thought whenever you had first kind of talked about this, the whole concept behind the shirt and stuff. And that was my thought initially. It was like, this industry attracts that type of person.
Right.
We've just gotten connected with so many screen printers from across the nation, and really, we have screen printers from all over the world that we have contact with now, and we interact with them and get to see the stuff that they're making and their hustle and their work ethic and stuff. And it's I think that's something really cool about this industry is it attracts that type of person that's just like, I'm going to go get it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to wait for something to happen. I'm not going to, whether maybe you weren't satisfied with that cubicle job, with that sales job, with that whatever, with the retail, there's all those other things that, I grew up doing sales and working in, stores and, stuff like that. And it's not fun. I didn't enjoy it. Yeah. I was good at it. Yeah. But that it didn't fulfill anything for me,
right?
And so, being in something like this now, I know I don't print shirts, but even something like this, like where we're constantly, the way that our day doesn't look the same every day, and I think it's like it's that kind of hustle, that kind of like, all right, we're gonna show up today. We kind of got a schedule. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Then the power goes out.
And then the power goes out. Then you break your brand new press and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, I think that it's for me, that was my initial thought was just like, you see a lot of that personality in this industry.
Yep.
And you see a lot of there's a lot of people even just on Instagram and stuff that we know that are constantly pushing out that kind of motivation and stuff of like, hey, you can get it, like go for it. Don't wait around. Don't sit around. Like you got to be the hustler. You got to make it happen.
Yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people are put in the position. Some people, like they were fired, from their job. And so they're pushed into it of like, well, I kind of like design, or I kind of like shirts, or I think I can do that better, or I can hit that niche and like really go after that. and it's like that job just finds them. And then, you know, it is when I started out, I was working 9 to 5, and then I was coming home printing from 5 to 10 with the newborn at home. You know, it's just like not many people can do that,
want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have that want to.
Yeah.
And there's countless people we know that are like screen printers that's the same story for them. That's how they started. They were working a job, and when they got done with their normal job, they went home and started in their garage. They started in their basement. They started, working another full-time job that is screen printing until that job was able to basically replace, this other thing that they didn't love doing.
Yep.
It's really cool. It is a cool thing.
Which I think we all have. I think we've all have that same story of like working this job that we don't like until we can do the thing that we're passionate about, the thing that fires us up, the thing that you want to get out of bed and go do, not the flipping burgers or the landscaping or the window washing or whatever it is.
Love hate.
Love hate. Yeah, but I think most people have had that. At least the people that we know through screen printing, through this industry, they've had that same story of like, hated this, and I had to find a way out of it, and this is the path that got me to, being, whether that's like whatever you want to call that, like free to do whatever you want.
Yeah, this comes up a lot, and obviously my wife has been with me. We're coming up on 12 years of marriage.
Congrats.
So, in July. 7 years ago, I looked at her like, hey, I'm going to start a business, and I'm going to, work a lot. And she still asks me this question to this day of like, and she knows some of the stresses, of course. I talk with her, I vent, just like, she feels the weight of everything. And she's like, are you sure you just don't want to work a 9 to 5? And like, it's not a terrible question when she asks that, because on paper, what we do is crazy. It just is. And
it's a lot.
It is a lot. But I just always tell her, I'm like, I can't. I couldn't work a 9 to 5. I just, not that I couldn't get used to only working 9 to 5 hours,
right?
But
but a typical job.
Yeah, just a typical job of going in and clocking. Because for me, and it's weird. I mean, again, it's a blessing and a curse that I have this mindset sometimes of like literally just clocking in and clocking out, and just my brain shutting off.
Right.
I'm an entrepreneur. I'm always thinking of the next business or the next thing that can make this business successful, thrive, blow up, in a good way.
Yeah.
Say after yesterday, I
Meltdown,
wouldn't
flood, tornado.
I was thinking of the next thing.
Yeah. So, but I just always tell her, I'm like, I would be miserable at a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Not that, well, also because especially after 7 years in and all the investment and all that, and then I'm just like, I'm just done. Then it's just like all those hours away from you, away from the kids, and like the investment, it'd been for nothing.
Right.
That's why I can't quit. Even if I wanted to try, like if I was done, it's like, no, I just figure it out. Not to say certain doors can't shift and open and, go to different niches and stuff like that if something's not working. But yeah, I just tell her, it kind of sucks from time to time, but at the end of the day, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, that sucked a lot, but it was quite the learning experience. And now, we're dialing in some other just the full process of screen printing. So it's just like, we learned a lot, and we learned a lot today, finishing out the job. And so I think it's that, man, I'm always going to be learning something new. And we got really cool, fancy equipment to help us do that. It's just, I don't know, it still keeps me excited.
And you got to figure out how to use that stuff. That's some of the that's some of the stuff that happened was just like, we're moving, we're in a hurry, trying to get other things done. And if you rush things, you will make mistakes.
Yep.
And they get more expensive as you grow. You said something earlier though that I wanted to touch on. You know, you're talking about like you just being, you know, doing like a typical job like you would have been miserable at, you know. And it's funny because I had this conversation a lot over the years with my dad, because he always wanted to support me and always was like, do whatever you want to do. But there were a couple of times where he was just like, hey man, like you just need to go get a job over here, like with me. And, you know, not necessarily with him, but he did offer that up a couple of times when I was living back home. My dad worked at a plant, like a chemical plant for all of my life, but most of his life too. But I always and super grateful for it. You know, he put in a lot of years there, made good money, took care of our family. Yeah. We lived a good life.
Yep.
But I always knew growing up, like, I don't want to do that. Yeah. Because I don't think I could. Yeah. Like, I don't think I would stay sane in a job like that. Yeah. And that was a conversation me and him had all the time. And so it's one of those things, like, whenever we have conversations like this with different people, I always think about that. And like, there's nothing wrong with those things. Right. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, with going and getting a job at a company and you're working there for 50 years and retiring. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you don't have that personality, then it will be problematic for you, you know, long term. And so
absolutely,
I always loved having that conversation with my dad. I was like, I hear you. I'm glad that that's a good, like, it was good for you. Yeah. I wasn't wired that way. Yeah.
And the key point to that is every entrepreneur needs employees. I mean, it's like, not everybody's an entrepreneur. Some people, not the attitude of like, oh, they just clock in and clock out. Like, you guys, you're invested. You know, it's not a clock in, clock out type thing. It's you're invested into the company. And so I need people like you. I don't need people that's like, yep. You know, like I know Jordan goes home and he thinks about, man, that job. Okay, if I would have done this, then that would have fixed that. Or, ooh, this could do faster. And like vice versa. And then he thinks about stuff at home. Corey designs at home. Jared does videos at home. We're always constantly like, you know, we're invested. We're just trying to, you know, like I need solid employees, but like I think you all could start your own businesses and be successful entrepreneurs. I believe that. Do you want to?
Yeah. Well, and I think the thing about that is something like that spirit of entrepreneurship. Like, that's not like you said, I think that there's, like, I think I carry a lot of those traits. Do I want to step out and do that in the season of life that I'm in right now? And no, because, well, one thing, the first thing I was going to say, let me just get back on track here. The spirit of entrepreneurship, I think, attracts dreamers. Not like you were talking about, like employees that just want to clock out. Yeah. Right. And so, I mean, we don't, like you said, we sometimes to a fault, we dream a lot and we'll sit around and we'll talk. And sometimes it can be a little longer than we should. Like, but I think that that's important to dream. And it's important to like visualize what you want to do and think about those things and like put those things in your mind. And like, you know, I grew up playing sports. You have to see the victory. You have to go for, you know, you have to like, you know, watch yourself hitting the home run. Right. You know what I mean? You have to do those things. And so, I don't know. I just think I think that like you see that a lot whenever you see like small businesses or people that are owning, you know, like a small shop or something like that. The people that are around them, that stay around them, they're usually dreamers. Yeah. They're usually people that are invested, and the others, they'll weed themselves out.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Yeah. I mean, again, just going. Screen printers are a different breed. Really, if you're listening, you have a print shop. Like, I just want to say it's like freaking congrats to you that you're still a print shop. You're still doing it. You're still in the everyday grind. That's the other thing. I mean, listen, I know other businesses have grinding moments.
Not true. Kidding.
However, there's just something that like there's something special in the screen printer and in the shop that is just like that was it. It was just like, man, screen printers are a different breed. And I noticed that. Well, it's funny. I noticed it like even with the interview we did with the Boyds. Like I think I said that in that video, like, yeah, we're a different breed or something like that. And that's what kind of started sparking up this thought of just like, man, we're the type of people that, you know, we wake up early because we got to coat screens so that we can be well prepped to be able to burn screens, you know, soon as, you know, like the store opens up, you know, to, or stay after the mix ink or this and that, just it's like, or stay after to hit those deadlines so you can meet those customers' needs. You know, a lot of shops like, oh, that's, you know, or not shops, but like business is like, oh, it's 5 o'clock, time to go home. Yeah. That email stays unread or undone, you know, like,
yeah.
Or you go home and you're, you know, go into the bathroom, answer an email, send in quotes. Like that's what I mean by we're a different breed. There's something about it that we're hungry.
I think part of it too is that like screen printing it's an art. So you're being creative and as an entrepreneur at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that in itself makes you a different person.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's like this perfect balance of creativity and business. Yep. You know, that there's a lot of people out there that are artists and are creative, but not a lot of them are able to like make money off of it or turn that into a business. And they want to maybe, but with screen printing, it's most people are drawn into it because like, man, I love art. I love, you know, creativity and doing something. And then a lot of times that they get into it and then they're like, I can do this for other people. I can make money off of this. Yeah. And then they start doing that. And then they're like, now I'm learning business skills. And now all of a sudden, you know, you have these people that are creatives that are now listening to business podcasts and like, you know, watching videos on YouTube about how to like, you know, do different business type of things because they're like, oh, you know, if I want to keep doing what I'm doing, I got to, you know, get more advanced in this area. And you have this like really cool balance.
Yeah. Yeah. I
almost
agree.
like the Force.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, you have emotions on one side.
Stupid Star Wars.
But selflessness on the other side.
These guys literally, what do you watch every
Clone Wars every day?
Clone Wars.
Yeah, we've been watching Clone Wars. It's really excellent.
Gosh.
Listen, we're trying to convince Jonathan that Star Wars is awesome.
I thought Clone Wars was a kid's show, and then Jordan told me about it a little bit more. And then
after you see your 100th head get cut off, you're like, oh, maybe this isn't a kid show.
Yeah.
Where did the misconception come that animation means for kids?
I don't
know. Disney.
Yeah.
Star Wars fans, they're a different breed.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of true though.
Well, hey, Jordan, let's talk about this because Jordan, how much money did you spend on a lightsaber the other day?
First of all, it was special edition, okay?
Yeah, it was special edition.
You
There's only 6,000 in the world, John.
You have one.
I do. Two.
Two. Because it's a double set.
Yeah, it's Ahsoka's blades.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're sweet, aren't they?
They're pretty sweet.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
so
excellent.
You don't have to tell how much you spent for it, but he always refers to himself as a Star Wars nerd.
Hey, that can be the next podcast. The definition of a nerd, and if it's okay to call yourself one. Because John hates when I call myself a Star Wars nerd, even though I fully embrace it and accept it.
I hate it because I'm just like, why can't you just be a person that likes Star Wars?
Well, there's a person who likes Star Wars and then somebody who waits in a virtual line to buy lightsabers.
In a virtual line.
He was in a queue for a minute.
Okay,
Dude, like,
you're a nerd.
Even George, he was like, "Hey man, I might have you log in and get in the line too, and then you just buy them on your card and I'll pay you back." He was like, because he didn't want to miss them, and I was like, "Yeah, man, let me know if we need to, because I get it,
Friendship.
I get it."
No, see,
I'm not buying special edition lightsabers.
Yeah,
but I understand it because I'll buy special edition something else. We all got our things.
Yeah. See, we all have our things.
We all have our things.
We
I'm
just-
with you on that.
We like certain,
Yeah, I got a thing. You got a thing.
Well-
Jared's got a thing.
It's just
Even
we
Jordan.
all like Star Wars.
Well, another thing that I had to bring up, because in every shop is 100% guilty, and if you watch this and you deny it, you're a liar. Is when you get artwork in, you're like, that's terrible artwork. I hear you, just not your preference, and it's the truth.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, because like
I disagree.
you
As
would
the graphic designer.
no.
Well, let's talk about that then. Let's get into it. Let's dig right into the root of it.
No, I mean, yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory.
I mean, but even that plays in. I was going to say that earlier. It's like some people start screen printing because they want to be creative and they want to like, oh, I got this awesome design I made. I want to put it on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
But then it goes into you start putting other people's artwork onto
Yeah.
T-shirts.
Yep.
So then you're in charge of like capturing somebody else's ideas, and that's what with me with recording. That's like my biggest thing is like I'm capturing somebody else's art.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure that you're treating it and handling it the way that you would want your art to be treated.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Where sometimes I'm like, man, I wouldn't design it in that method, or I wouldn't put those squiggles or pixelated things in those places.
And that's understandable.
But like, if the client's like, no, dude, I did that on purpose. And I'm like, cool. And it's like, all right, cool. Like that's their vision, and they're coming to us. And so we're like, we're going to help you achieve your vision. Jonathan's actually more guilty of trying to change people's visions. He's like, nope, I don't like how that looks. and then he gets on the phone and explains to them, and then he convinces them that their art is no good.
Now, but hold on a second, because there are, I've been to like a tattoo shop,
Yeah.
and I've been like, hey, I got this idea, and then the tattoo artist will go, well, let me tell you all the reasons why that won't work, and let me tell you all the reasons why you don't actually want that.
You're gonna have to embed LEDs in your skin just to do that design, Jared.
Oh, you talked to him about that? But yeah, but like there's I think there are times where it's like, okay, I hear that you have a vision for that, but it's not going to work and it's not going to come out the way you want, and this is why. And I think it is your responsibility as the artist to say, well, hey, let me educate you as much as possible, and if you still want to go that route, we can do it.
100%.
But
That's because we're the screen printers,
Exactly.
and they're the artists. So
right,
Yeah.
that's what makes a screen printer different, because they're both.
Right.
yeah.
And the thing is that I can't make stick figures look good.
That's my joke. You stole that from me.
Did I really?
Yes. You son of a...
Yes. I stole Jared's line. I can't make stick figures look good, but I know I can make that stick figure look really good placement wise. Or like, oh, that should be blown up, or that should be 3 inches, or
That stick figure should go on a 230 mesh screen.
Exactly. No, it's like seriously, like that's the stuff that the
We
screen
have
printer,
printed stick figures, by the way.
we have.
I remember that.
And
And that's one of those designs that Corey's like, that's nice.
Yeah, that one's in the runnings for
Cool.
I love that you're printing your children's artwork. You drew that?
very
great.
very cool.
And again, preference. And
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I mean, like, I always compare this with music because it's the easiest for people to say what they prefer and don't prefer.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people's default is, oh, this music genre or artist that I don't prefer, they suck. And like, well, hold on a second. They don't suck. That, I harp on that a lot because I hate Metallica. Don't like them. I know I'll get reamed for it. Everybody loves them. That's fine. I don't like them.
Yeah.
I never have. I don't like their music. I don't like the guys. It just is what it is.
Wow, don't like them. Don't
It's because
personally don't like.
because he's from Texas, and it's Pantera or nothing.
Well, I'm just saying. We don't have to get into the reasons why.
Yeah.
I just don't like Metallica. They're not my flavor. But no one on this planet has ever heard me say that Metallica sucks.
Right.
Because those guys have been making music for a long time.
And making
they've been
lots of
making
money.
a lot of money making music for a long time.
they suck.
So they obviously don't suck, right?
Dude, I'm the same way with athletes. Like being a Penguins fan, I love Sidney Crosby. Some people are like, man, he sucks. I'm like, yep, he's real terrible at being the best hockey player.
Yep. Professional.
Like, look at all his achievements. He has to suck to be able to do all that.
Yeah, professional athlete.
hey,
the worst professional athlete.
It's still better than you.
Yes.
Google net worth.
Yeah. There was a guy, I believe his name is Scalabrini. He was an NBA basketball player.
Wizard?
I remember that name.
Yeah, and he got.
Oh, he played for the Wizards.
No. So he, I don't know what team he was on. I don't remember. But anyway, he was in the NBA for a while, and he had a bunch of people calling him out, talking about how bad he sucked because he wasn't the best player in the NBA, and he just wasn't. But he put out something called the Scallenge because his name was Scalabrini. So he put out the Scallenge. Look this up. It's great. It's fantastic. You need to go watch it because he reams these guys. Like he told all of them, he said, I am closer to Michael Jordan than you are to me. If you just understand that,
So good.
then you will ever be, any of you,
That's
because they're
so
not
good.
professional athletes.
That's so good.
And that's what he was trying to explain to them. He's like, you don't understand. You think I'm not good because I'm playing against the literal best players in the world, but I won't miss a shot against any of you. And he went out and dominated all these guys that challenged him. And I'm talking like some of these dudes are good athletes, and they came out and like try to challenge an ex NBA player. NBA players, if you've ever watched them warm up, not in games, they just don't miss.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Because it's what
It's
they do
their
all day.
job.
Right.
Yeah.
They get paid a lot of money to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a big rant, but
No, that's good. Going on to a topic where Corey and I will just hang our hats here is that I went to my first street league years ago and watched some professional skateboarders.
As I say, is this a
And
skateboarding thing?
you can watch all the skate videos in the world, jump on YouTube, whatever, watch all the clips you want. And you're like, man, they're good. Those are edited videos for the most part.
Yeah.
How many tries did that take?
Dude, first Tino has.
Dude,
Sometimes you do get.
sometimes.
I mean, Chris Jocelyn did that. Like his Plan V video part. Half of his freaking tricks were first try.
Yeah. And those are fun days. Your body doesn't hurt as much at the end of that day.
Which, when you're jumping down like a freaking 15, 18 stair, it's like your goal is like 3 to 5. Like no more
Or
tries than that.
I'm tapping out
Yeah, dude.
until another day for sure. But at that street league, I was just like, yep, obviously Nigel Houston's one of the best skateboarders in the world, best contest skater, like killer. That dude landed, I don't know how many nollie frontside flips over a gap and a 10-foot drop time after time, just warming up. Oh, boom, boom, boom. And then like, oh, I'm going to do the trick. Like it's his run, sticks it. And I'm just like, dude, you are phenomenal. Like how? However, guess what? He didn't win the contest because everyone else was like, no joke. Like they're literally the best. And there's a reason why they get sponsored. That's the reason why Nigel got sponsored at 8 or 11.
Yeah.
He was a pro skater. I think it was 11. So it's just like, yeah.
I just love that we started this podcast about screen printing, and Corey's like, "I'm not a screen printer."
Yeah.
And now we're talking about skateboarding. So
That's right. That's
Look
my
at that.
goal
Look
for
at that.
everything.
Smile
That was
under
his goal
that
from
smile.
My whole goal with all conversations I have with people is that by the end of it, we'll be talking about
You know
skateboarding.
what I mean? I got you.
if you didn't
That's
know,
how I am about Star Wars.
Yeah.
We noticed.
If you didn't know, Corey always wants to talk about skateboarding. Jonathan usually tries to avoid it. So I'm actually kind of impressed that you went
Yeah.
there today.
Well, he loves Nija. He's a Nija-holic.
I mean, Nigel's pretty great. But
He's one of the best.
he's one of those names that, like, if you're not even into skateboarding, you know a couple guys. You know Tony Hawk
Yeah.
and Nigel Houston.
Yeah, a Vanity Fair did a thing on his house.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of Vanity Fair, did you guys see the new Vanity Fair Star Wars?
You know,
edition?
speaking of Star
Oh my
Wars.
gosh.
All right. Anyway, speaking of different breeds,
Yeah.
Golden Retrievers, they're a breed of dog,
the best.
and Dalmatians are a different breed of dog.
Not the best.
Yeah, I have heard that they're not the best.
Hey, you want to talk about your breed of dogs?
Yeah, Golden Retriever. That's
Also,
it.
in the movie 101 Dalmatians, I don't know if this is fact, but I the other day I started the movie with my son Davey. We watched like 15 minutes of it. I don't think that dog had 100 puppies. I think it just had like 15.
Are you fact checking Disney?
I don't think there's 100 puppies involved in this movie. There's just a lot of them, but not 100. I'm pretty sure.
Did you watch the end?
No.
Then that's all we need to say. You got to watch the whole movie.
Did it have more puppies?
You got to watch the movie. That's the entire movie.
I mean, I watched it when I was a young kid, but I don't remember.
All right.
100 dogs.
Why are we here?
That's a
How did we end up
of
in
dogs.
this place where you don't remember a Disney movie from when we were children?
All right, Corey. Your homework is to go
100
home.
dogs?
You got to figure out how there's 100.
It's like,
Trust me.
how could you fit that in your house? The bills of dog food, and it seems absurd.
Movie logic.
Oh my gosh.
How could the dog survive giving birth to that many puppies? It's not like it's a fish or like a salmon just blasting out eggs.
I think I'm gonna just have to fade out at some point. Find a place to just fade it out and say, and I come up at the end and say, "Sorry."
This is about breed, right?
It is. It is. So last thing, because it's the end of the day here, and we're not talking about that movie no more.
Oh my gosh.
Is that we printed up some shop shirts, and they're sweet looking. We printed on the best T-shirt, in my opinion, on the market, AS color, even though Jordan doesn't like the fit
I just don't like the
quite
sleeves.
yet.
But
he's very
they're great shirts.
He's
He said
very
yet.
particular.
He doesn't like it yet.
I will say they feel fantastic.
They do.
They're crazy soft.
And we printed the lovely Discharge, and we filmed a video on it. We're going to teach you a little bit of what we do, how we do Discharge.
How to run an automatic press.
How
How
to
to not
run-
run an automatic
If you're interested in breaking your press, check out this video.
And yeah, but we're going to have these shirts up on the website so you can pick them up. This design is so sweet. I'm so pumped on how they turned out. We will probably do a rerun just because I feel like these are going to really sell. And
fly.
there's legitimately one small. I apologize. We had one shirt that discharged out green.
Yeah.
And I
Real
only
weird.
ordered 3 smalls because usually smalls hang on our shelves over there. But I got decent amount of inventory, medium, large, extra large.
Say,
and
unless you
2X.
want a green shirt.
Sure.
Do you even do the back of the shirt?
Yeah, we did both.
Yeah.
It is weird though. Looks weird.
Interesting.
The one that was green.
Oh yeah. It was over dyed or something. I don't know. Or sitting on a shelf for a very long time. But yeah, we're gonna have those up on the website at some point tomorrow. So
Right on.
pick one up.
Well, tomorrow, but this is not going to be out. By the time you're watching or hearing this, they will be
They
out.
will be sold out.
It more than likely. By the time
hope
you hear
so.
this, they will be sold out.
But then you can comment on this YouTube video or wherever you listen and say, hey, reprint those.
Can you comment on other places? Like
Leave a
pod-
review.
Yeah, leave it in the review.
Oh, I thought. Well, on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, but like
The other one, yeah, you can do
other
reviews.
podcast places.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave a review saying, I didn't get my shirt. I want one.
I want a 3X. But yeah.
We special to order 3Xs in case you're wondering.
Yeah, these are super sweet shirts. We'll probably post some photos. You'll see them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pumped on them.
You'll see him. We'll see him. And we'll see you there. We'll see you there. We'll see you in the air.
Arf.
And Jared's going to fade it out.
I'll friend you later, guys.
Sorry.